Hello students, welcome everyone to the first lecture of thermodynamics. So here we are going to understand the different aspects of the thermodynamics. So before I start what is thermodynamic, let us understand why we are learning thermodynamics. What are the application, what are the uses of understanding thermodynamics? What we are going to understand, what is the application of this whole concept of the thermodynamics. First is that what does it tell about? So thermodynamics tells about, I'll write over here, tells about following things. Okay, so first is tells about the feasibility, tells about feasibility of reaction. Feasibility of the reaction means what? Whether that particular reaction is going to take place at a given set of conditions of the temperature and pressure. This is what is decided by using the principles of thermodynamics. For example, if I want to teach you, then example is this: nitrogen and the hydrogen. Okay, if they react, what you get? You get ammonia. This is a balanced chemical equation. But do you think that this happens at a normal temperature of the temperature and the pressure? Like, is it possible to get you this ammonia by using nitrogen and hydrogen, like at room temperature and atmospheric pressure? No, you don't. It is not possible, right? You require a temperature of 400 to 450 degrees Celsius, and pressure also you require very high, 2 atmospheric pressure. Okay, and you require a ion catalyst also. You require a ion catalyst for this. Catalyst, anything which increases the speed of the reaction, right? You require these many conditions to form ammonia. Otherwise, nitrogen and hydrogen don't react, right? So how this condition is decided using the principles of the thermodynamic, different aspects of the thermodynamics we are going to learn. Now, the other place you take a different simple example. Like sodium is there. You do this reaction. Sodium reacting with water. What you get is a sodium hydroxide, and a hydrogen gas will be released over here. How to balance this? Yes, this 2 over here. It's balanced. Yes. So this reaction takes place at a room temperature. So for this reaction to take place at room temperature, this reaction is feasible. That is what we are going to say at a room temperature. This reaction is not feasible at a room temperature. Then next thing, what it tells about the extent of the reaction. It tells about the extent of the reaction. Second thing, tells about extent of reaction. How far the particular reaction can go. What is the amount of the product? Like how far means how much amount of the product will be formed. Is it that maximum of the reactant will be getting converted to the product? All these things we can understand by the concepts of thermodynamics. Then what we cannot understand, thermodynamic does not tell anything about a speed of the reaction. Understand this. This does not tell about speed. It is also called as rate of reaction, right? These are the things. This is the disadvantage. Disadvantage means limitation, we can say. Limitations of the thermodynamic concept, that it cannot tell about the speed of the reaction. So now coming to the thermodynamics. So what is thermodynamics? The study, okay, thermodynamics by definition is the study of flow of heat into or out of the system. Now over here the term system is introduced. We'll do this in detail. What is system and other things? System means, let's say, a reaction mixture, right? Now during cation anion analysis, when you do those analysis, what do? You take the compound in a test tube, you heat the test tube. Now what is your test tube? Test tube is a system. You are supplying a heat to make the reaction, certain reactions feasible. Sometime it is to make the reactions, to increase the speed of the reaction, you are supplying a temperature, right? So this study of flow of heat into or out of the system means reaction mixture. This study is called as a thermodynamics. Now what is a system? System is a reaction mixture which is undergoing a chemical or a physical change. Reaction mixture, what is reaction mixture? Reaction mixture is a system undergoing physical or chemical change, right? Let's say there you are observing a ice, right? There is a ice cube. This is a physical change. It is getting converted to water. This is my reactant and this is my product. This is ice and this is water. Means it is, this both are water, but this is in the liquid form. This is a physical change. What has happened? This ice has absorbed the heat from the external, it has converted to water, right? So this is about the physical change. There are chemical changes like nitrogen, hydrogen combining to give you the ammonia, where heat is absorbed, a lot of temperature is supplied to that, right? So this is about the system. So this is the whole idea of a topic, that what is the amount of the heat is going into or the coming out of the system, that will be measured. We will be learning that. So some terminologies. What is very important at this point is understanding the terminologies. So that is how we say we are building the vocabulary of the subject, understanding the vocabulary, learning some technical terms, that is also very important before we go into the actual concepts of the topic. So first thing I am going to tell you about, there is a system. System is that part of universe which is under thermodynamic system is that part of universe which is undergoing any physical or chemical change. Physical or chemical change is that part of universe which is undergoing any physical or chemical change, and it is undergoing any physical or chemical change, and it is under thermodynamic observation. You are observing, you are measuring the temperature of that, you are observing how much heat is transferred from the surrounding to the system, you are observing how much heat is transferred from the system to the surrounding. Now for example, what is a system is that, let's take a simple example of hot cup of tea. Let's say this is a hot cup of tea, okay, and tea is there, very hot, something 70 degrees Celsius. This is the cup of tea. Now over here, after some time, what you observe is that after 10-15 minutes, this tea is going to lose its heat to the surrounding, right? And a temperature of the tea will fall down. You are observing the tea which is there inside that, okay, tea which is there inside. You have observed that it has lost the heat to the surrounding. So what is my system over here? System is the tea. System over here is the tea which is in the bulk, right? Bulk quantity which is there. Now what is the surrounding? Surrounding by definition, if I write, surrounding is the remaining part of the universe. It is remaining part of universe apart from, or we can say that a part of a universe, apart from system, right? So what is the immediate environment of the T? Immediate environment of the T is the room in which it is placed. The temperature of that room will matter to the fall of the temperature of the T, rate of fall of the temperature of the T, right? So that room is the surrounding of that T, right? So this is the definition of the system and the surrounding. Now what is a boundary? Next very important comes a boundary, system and the surrounding. In this case there is a T cup, right? This is a cup. Cup is a boundary. Boundary is the wall separating the system and the surrounding. So we'll discuss about the boundary. So boundary is wall separating system and surrounding, right? So when it was a T, it was a cup which was there, which was the boundary which is separating the system and the surrounding. When it is a test tube, you are doing a reaction in a test tube, it is a test tube boundary which is there, which is separating the system. System is what? Bulk, which is there inside the test tube, a reaction mixture. That is what the system is and which you are observing. So now boundaries may be real or imaginary. So there are, I will write, boundary may be real or second is imaginary. Like for example, if I let's take that simple example of the T only. If I take this simple example of the T, right? Okay. So over here, the top surface, this is also a boundary, right? This is also a boundary. Although physically there is nothing on the top surface, there is nothing. That boundary which is separating the remaining surrounding and the system is the imaginary boundary. And this is what boundary? This is real boundary. So there is one more. There is adiabatic wall or adiabatic boundary. C is adiabatic boundary. Adiabatic boundary is the boundary which does not conduct heat. Boundary which does not conduct heat. Means heat cannot transfer from the system to surrounding if this adiabatic boundary is there. Heat cannot transfer from or into system. Okay, heat cannot transfer from or into system, from the system or into system, right? If the boundary is adiabatic, means that boundary is not conducting, so there is no transfer of the heat from the system to the surrounding. Then last is diathermic boundary is boundary which conducts heat. Boundary conducts heat. So I'll discuss about this adiabatic boundary and a diathermic boundary in more detail when we are learning about the open system, closed system and the isolated system. Next is types of system. Types of system. So there are three types of system. One is open system. Second, closed system, and third is isolated system. We'll discuss one by one. Open system means, like, you can take an example of a cup of tea. Okay, I'm just taking cup of tea because that is something which is very much, everyone is very much familiar with that. So this is a cup of tea. Okay, in one side it is open. Okay, one end of the tea cup of tea is always open. So what is the open system? Open system is like, if you keep that tea for long standing at a room temperature, what will happen is that after some time the temperature of the tea is going to fall, right? Because it is going to lose some heat to the surrounding. So heat is a form of energy. So what we can say is that in open system there is transfer of energy, and if I tilt the cup, what will happen? The matter which is there inside the cup of tea, that will also come out, right? So there is a transfer of energy as well as matter to or from, or we'll write as of now to the surrounding. To the surrounding. Opposite is also possible. In open system, matter may go inside the bulk, or a heat can also go inside the bulk, right? So there is a transfer of energy as well as matter to the surrounding, right, from system. So this is about the open system. Now what is a closed system? Same tea, you store it in a bottle, maybe a steel bottle. I'm not talking about the vacuum bottle, I'm talking of about the copper bottles or the steel bottles, just bottles which you get. So you store this you store this tea into this bottle. What will happen? It is a closed system, okay? The bottle is a closed system, the cap is there, right, on the top. So what will happen is that after some time, the heat which is there, the tea may be hot at the beginning, and after some time, maybe after 1 hour, you see that, or after half an hour, you see that the temperature of tea has gone down. Means heat is represented by symbol Q, is given out to the surrounding. Why? Because the walls of this bottle were diathermic. Diathermic means they were conducting. The walls of this were conducting and heat was able to pass through these walls. But what is not getting transferred? Matter is not getting transferred. So what I can write over here is that in this bottle, in a closed system, there is transfer of energy from system to surrounding or surrounding to system. You can write this way. Same thing for this, from system to surrounding. There is transfer of energy from system to surrounding, or vice versa. Vice versa means surrounding to system. But there is no transfer, of matter. Matter cannot come out of the closed system because system is closed. From the closed bottle, if it is tightly sealed over here, it is not going to come out, right? Only heat will be lost. This is what a complete definition of the closed system. Now what is isolated system? isolated system is like when you store a tea, same tea you are storing it in a thermos flask, or we call that to be a vacuum bottle. How is the vacuum bottle? You may observe that vacuum bottle may be very big, you know, sometime it is this way. From external, the vacuum bottle is very big. Let's say this is what the vacuum bottle is. But you see that external, the bottle is very big, but what you can store inside is very less vacuum, less amount of the water, or it may be a tea which you are storing. It is very inside, actual volume is very less. But actually, what is there? You know, like this is the cap of the bottle. Let's say here I will show this lining. I will show this is a lining which I am showing. So isolated system example is like this way. Example I can write tea stored in vacuum bottle or thermoflask. Okay, sometimes we say thermos. Now what is this? This is a vacuum. This is a vacuum. Vacuum means all the air is pulled out from here. There is no medium over here. So for heat to transfer, let's say there is your tea over here. For heat to transfer, you require a medium. So this is like a system over here, and this is surrounding, and it is separated by a wall which is adiabatic wall. Adiabatic, I had discussed about this. Adiabatic, it doesn't conduct heat. Means there is no, it is vacuum, means no air particles are there. So heat requires a medium to get transfer. Like here, heat energy Q will require some medium. So that since there is a vacuum, it is not going to get transfer from here to here. Right? So this is like an adiabatic wall. So there is what we can say for the isolated system, there is no transfer, there is no transfer of heat as well as or we can say heat means it is energy. There is no transfer of energy as well as matter. Okay, so there is no transfer of heat as well as matter from system to surrounding and vice versa. So what is the definition of the open system? In open system, there is a transfer of the energy as well as matter from system to surrounding or from the surrounding to system. For the closed system, there is a transfer of the energy but not matter from the system to surrounding or surrounding to the system. In the isolated system, there is no transfer of the heat or the energy. Heat and energy is same, energy and the matter, there is no transfer of energy as well as matter from system to surrounding as well as from surrounding to system. So these are the three kinds of system which we are going to encounter in a thermodynamics.